200th game coached in the A-League this weekend, across both leagues. First time has had that in A-League women. How have you seen the league change in the past, as long as you're involved in it?
Someone's just told me that like 1 minute ago, so makes me feel a bit old actually. No, look, there's been a lot of changes from obviously from year one. The amount of games, just the importance of the league. We've seen the quality of the league kind of ebb and flow a little bit, but where we are today, I think we're in a very, very healthy state. The league's really important, and I think now we've got a number of players at every club now that are going to be the future of the Australian Matildas team. So the quality is getting better and better, and yeah, I think it's obviously that golden generation. We're all brought up through this period, but yeah, it's now we're looking at the evolution to the next generation, and they're out there in the league and playing regularly every week.
Jeff, being honest, what's your highlight of the 200?
Probably still being here today, coaching. There's been a huge amount of really emotional highs in there. I guess when I look back, being involved in the first season, the inaugural season, was special to win that first one. But probably a real special moment was grand final against Sydney, where Leah Privatelli brought up Kayla onto the stage to share. I think that kind of has been probably, looking back, one of the highlights of my whole coaching career. Being in charge of a team with those type of people in it, and again, that's what we're trying to cultivate here in our culture, and that was an amazing moment for me.
Do you have a game that got away?
Too many of those. Too many of those to mention. Yeah, even last week. Yeah. So no, it's. I prefer to think of the highs and the good times. But there's been plenty of low points as well. But I guess that's where my first answer is. I'm still throwing a few punches and still around for a while yet as well.
Any players in particular where you go, yeah, I'm really proud of the journey we've had together? Because you've had a few of those players where you've had pretty extensive shared journeys with the Roar, and then also got victory too.
Yeah, look, there's been a huge amount. I think probably too many to mention. But yeah, it's. I think it'd be unfair to mention one. I've been lucky enough to coach some amazing players from my time at Raw through to the victory, the success we've had at Victory. There's been some amazing players that have come through the system, Australian players, international players. So I'd rather not say. I made a bit of a mess up of it on our presentation day this year. Forgot a couple of players, so I don't want to leave anybody out. Yeah.
Just moving on to last week, what did you take away from it? How do you, I guess, make sure the way that one ended doesn't happen again?
Yeah, look, I think we have definitely moved on. I think the positive thing was that I thought we played very well for 70-75 minutes of the game. We were on top, and probably not clinical enough on the periods that we did dominate. They were always dangerous, especially on the counter, and we didn't handle those moments very well. So we've definitely highlighted those moments this week. But in general, I thought we were on top for big periods of the game, and our challenge this week is when we get on top of teams, we need to make sure that we just hammer home our advantage with goals on the scoreboard. So that's kind of going to be the focus for us this year, this week. Sorry.
Grace was a late out before that game. I guess could you give us an insight into what she's done? Is she available?
She is available, yeah. And it was touch and go. She probably could have started the game, but whether she would have finished it and made the injury a little bit more serious, probably it would have done so. Look, she's a senior player. She knows her body pretty well, and we didn't want to take any risk with her. So we had a good substitute there, ready to come in Rosie Curtis, and I think now she'll be available and she'll play this weekend.
Minnie coming into the side, obviously a lot of eyeballs on that, making the cross-town move. She looked to play well, got a good goal. What are your thoughts on that?
She's been excellent this pre-season. I think on and off the field, I think she's gradually, game by game, kind of day by day, she's becoming more and more important to us as we find the best ways to use her. I think in terms of, we could have last week when Grace was out, she could easily have dropped into the 6 role and done that quite well. But I think we need her being really influential further up the field. The goal was top draw. She's starting to work really well with Rachel Lowe now. Start to get the two of them are starting to get a good relationship going with Kenna White as well. So yeah, it's an exciting time for us. We've got a lot of talent in that front 5, but I guess in the short term we've got to be clinical and make sure that we finish off the attacks that we're creating.
Minnie's relationship with Sophia Carlos over the NPLW season seems to have just slotted right into place in the A-League women. So Carlos didn't get a lot of minutes last year, but she seems to have just stepped up in her game. How have you seen her grow from the past couple of seasons?
Yeah, look, I think she was very unlucky last year, and yeah, look, the way that we were playing and the players that were playing in front of her were all doing really well, and she struggled not really through any fault of her own, but more about the players that were in front of her. I agree with you. I think she had a really influential NPL season, and she played a big part in their win in the grand final and before that. So I think she's come in full of confidence, fully fit, and match fit as well. And she's actually as well had a little bit of an opportunity that she didn't get last year, and she's grabbed it with both hands. That's why we brought her to the club. She's a quality player, and she's now in possession of that place until someone takes it off her.
Any more good news on the injury front coming this week? I know you still got one at
Yeah, look, probably not. Ella O'Grady is there or thereabouts, so she's fit to play, but whether she's match fit, I'm not sure. So she's probably the only one that got a little bit of a decision to make on for tomorrow and Sunday. But apart from that, I think we'll be going with the same squad as last week. Yeah, look, they were beaten last week, but they performed quite well actually. They've got a good young side, bolstered with some, they've got a good pick up with Alana Cern late on, Amy Harrison, excellent, young Eunice, and I've been quite impressed with a few of their younger players as well. The big hooks at the back there as well. So they're a good side. They're I say we're not reading too much into the result last week. I think they were maybe good enough to to get a draw, if not something more out of the game. So they play a little bit of a different way as well. So yeah, we've worked hard this week to analyse them, and we've had some 2 or 3 really good training sessions around the way that we're going to play against them, and we feel we can be quite effective against them. So looking forward and and we are really positive about the weekend's game.
200 games in, you talked about the progress it's made. What's the next thing you want to see with this league going forward?
Yeah, to be honest, 200 games doesn't really mean anything to me. It's all about winning this weekend to start and get us rolling, because I know the quality we've got in this side. Once we get the ball rolling and build up some momentum, will be very, very hard to stop.
Looking forward to the next 200.
Why not? Yeah, I've no hair instead of grey hair next time.